Hello my soccer universe. I gotta be honest, I expected a little bit more of this Europa League evening. It was the Conference League that actually delivered more action than the Europa League. Because, after the first leg, the games that were tight in the end didn't turn out to be that tight. And then the one that actually went all the way to penalties was a little bit of a surprise and again caused a much longer night than was needed from my perspective. In the end, all the Premier League teams that were kind of wobbly moved on. Athletic Club had it also easy against Roma because Mats Hummels just imploded. Lazio were sweating it, as was actually Rangers, something I did not expect at all. On the other side, Olympique Lyonnais moved on. I think there were some nerves at Bodo, who were probably the surprise team in moving on, but given that they almost finished top 8, them being in the quarterfinals, I also don't see as much of a surprise. So, after this little bit disappointing night, I think we can look forward to a really exciting quarterfinal already. There are quite some nice matchups in there as well. And of course, the big question is the way that the tree sets up. Will we get an all Premier League final of two very flawed teams in Spurs and United who still seem to have enough quality to oust some decent European opposition? Or will it be the teams that I find are really on fire, which is Athletic Club and Frankfurt? And then never forget about Lazio, who on paper have the easiest opponent in the quarterfinal. However, underestimate Bodo at your peril. Let's walk us through the games that happened yesterday in the evening, and then we'll look going forward what are the chances in each of the quarterfinals and for overall, as well as when are the matches gonna be played. It was the top billing of the Europa League round, and to the credit, Cristante actually hit early on the post, but then Mats Hummels' decision of making a weird pass and then taking down the Athletic attacker completely destroyed the tie already in the 11th minute. It's a denying of a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Hummels, although he got the ball, was sent off, and yes, there was another runner as well, but I think it was a clear enough decision, and that set up Athletic Club to win this tie. They were completely dominant, especially in the first half, and if Roma would have gone into the break with a 0-0, I think they might have had a chance to hold on. Nico Williams hit already the post, but then in stoppage time, it's a cross by his brother Iñaki that is deflected by Ndika onto Nico Williams on the other side, and his shot is also deflected by Angelino into the net. It's level on scores, and it really felt there was going to be only one winner. Again, more chances for Athletic Club, who had absolute domination over Roma, and yes, Shomorodov did have a chance, but then from a corner kick by Berenguer, Bešić heads it in, and it's 2-0 Athletic, who take also the lead on aggregate. And then in the 82nd minute, Nico dances through the Roma defense, and it is 3-0 Athletic Club, fully deservedly so. Late on, Paredes converts a penalty after an El Shaarawy foul, but there was too little stoppage time. The game was rather clear, not many interruptions, and so it ends with Athletic Club winning it. I really like the scene at the end of the game when Claudio Ranieri and Ernesto Valverde met and embraced. Even Ranieri gave Ernesto Valverde something which I really am curious what it was. Athletic Club move on and are dreaming of a final at home. We saw similar domination, however, on level team strengths between Frankfurt and Ajax. I mean, if you look at the Ajax lineup, this was a B lineup. The league is way more important to Ajax. And so Frankfurt was dancing circles around Ajax, which kind of sounds weird because Ajax for me is a bigger name than Eintracht Frankfurt. What Frankfurt played was really pretty, especially the go-ahead goal with a move via multiple players. Etiquette then plays it onto Bahoya, who scores his first goal for Eintracht Frankfurt already in the 7th minute. And Mario Götze, after a long ball by Koch, takes it down in the box with his chest, turns and lobs it over the goalkeeper. Really pretty goal. Frankfurt from that on were cruising, however Etiquette wanted to get on the score sheet as well, scored a beauty in the 67th minute, again assisted by Bahoya, so they reversed. Kenneth Taylor pulls one back for Ajax, but then Mario Götze uses a rather weird excursion of the Ajax goalkeeper, who takes the ball close to the halfway line down, but the pass is then misplaced, intercepted by Knauf, and Götze from far out gets it into the net. Frankfurt moving on, and in that form, Frankfurt might well be one of the favorites to win this competition. After Lazio already got a super lucky away win in Pilsen, they also labored to a 1-1 draw at home against the Czechs, who actually hit early on already the crossbar. Despite Lazio having plenty of possession, they cannot really create chances. And so it was no surprise that Schulz gave Pilsen the lead in the 52nd minute after the entire Lazio defense was not looking out for them, and Pilsen could more or less pass themselves through them. But it's at that point that then Lazio woke up, exerted quite some pressure, and in the end get the equalizer through a Romagnoli header after Zaccagni corner. The goalie touches the ball well behind the line, and then Lazio see it out. But in the end, it was a win without glory. Over in Piraeus, the home side were attacking Bodo quite some, putting pressure on. However, they had to deal with El Kaabi missing out on this match. And so they get caught on a counter-attack where Hauye, not really fast running onto the opposing goal, but he's not attacked and plays a nice pass to Kasper Höeg, who in the 36th minute gives Bodo a 4-0 lead on aggregate. But then in the second half, Yaremchuk comes on and he quickly makes it 1-1 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate, and Olympiacos are feeling themselves. They think they can now exert a lot of pressure, maybe get fully back into the game. 10 minutes later, a penalty is given for Olympiacos. However, Rodinel sees his effort saved. 2 minutes later, though, Yaremchuk makes it 2-1. And that reinvigorated Olympiacos for a little bit, but Bodo in the end held tight. They launch another counter-attack where Tsoulakis takes down a striker just at the halfway line, is sent off, and Bodo deservedly overall move on. Lyon already with a big advantage from the first leg had it also quite easy at home against FCSB, winning 4-0 with Ryan Cherki being in great form, assisting Mikodadze on the first and the third goal. But Mikodadze also gets 2 assists for the second and the fourth goals, both goals scored by Nurma. It was a true penalty drama without there being a penalty shootout between Manchester United and Real Sociedad. Early on, De Ligt gives away a penalty that Oyarzabal in the 10th minute converts, giving Real Sociedad the advantage on the night. However, United were the much better team, and just 6 minutes later, it was Højlund being brought down and Bruno Fernandes converts the penalty. And in the 50th minute, again, penalty given for United. This one a little bit more doubtful. Bruno Fernandes steps up, gets them through. Then Aramburu is sent off for Real Sociedad for a trip, again rather doubtful as well. Real Sociedad not being happy with the referee. Another penalty is awarded for United. It was really funny how many penalties there were. However, it was Dorgu who kind of said, this wasn't a penalty, so the referee gave the ball back to Real Sociedad, and later on Bruno Fernandes scores his third goal on the night, and Dalo also gets in on the action. United deservedly go through against Real Sociedad. Seemingly, Rangers were only out to get their 2-goal advantage from the first leg in Istanbul over the line. However, a Kostic cross is converted by Szymanski in the 45th minute, igniting Fenerbahce, who then were really pushing to get the equalizer, and after a nice Mert Müldür assist, Szymanski scores his second goal and gets Fenerbahce level on aggregate. I would argue that Fenerbahce were closer to the third goal. It would have seen through. It goes all the way to overtime. Kind of a tedious affair. Again, slight advantage Fenerbahce, but without being too dominating, it goes all the way to penalties. Where Dusan Tadic, who had a few chances to see Fenerbahce through, steps up and sees his penalty saved. Tavernier converts, Dzeko converts, Czerny converts, Djuko converts, so it is 2-2 on aggregate when Jone Hadži steps up, and you could see it already in his expression. He was not very confident, of course, he sees it saved. However, Frej also sees his effort saved, so Lawrence for Rangers reestablishes the lead, and Yandas puts it over the bar, and the Rangers are through to the next round. It wasn't an evening of gifts in the return leg between Spurs and AZ. AZ holding the advantage, however, they lose the ball, and so Solanke can give the ball to Odobert, who in the 26th minute gets the first goal for Spurs. And similarly, AZ lose the ball at midfield in the second half. Early on, Madison runs onto goal, over to Son, back to Madison, 2-0. Spurs seemingly go through. However, Spurs seemingly also said, maybe we should get in on this gifting action. It is Odobert and Bergvall who are not on the same page, and so Koopmeiners can run free on goal. 63rd minute, scores are level again on aggregate, but it was Spurs that were the better team, had more chances, and Odobert after Solanke assist sees Spurs going through, where maybe they have a good chance of winning this competition if they can take care of their defensive frailties and not always go all out on attack. As much fun to watch as it is. I feel that there's some tantalizing matchups in the quarterfinal. The least glamorous one is definitely Bodo against Lazio. However, I put the biggest upset alert there. Athletic Club have to go to Rangers. Very atmospheric, both stadiums. I really like that one. Of course, Athletic Club's target is to go all the way to the final at home. I think they should be better than Rangers, but Rangers are a dangerous side. And then the two English teams face rather stiff competition. OL is a team that I really cannot tell you how good they really are. They will definitely be a more formidable opposition than Real Sociedad were, especially the way Ryan Shirky and Mikadadze are playing up front. I actually like that one. Still, United have to be considered the favorites. And then the big one, Spurs against Eintracht Frankfurt. I think this is blockbuster stuff. This is a potential final, and I actually think that Frankfurt are a much closer opponent to Spurs than one would consider just on paper. So this is the one that I'm really having my eyes on. Regarding the overall chances, we see now that Athletic Club, after overcoming Roma, which may have well been the toughest opponent given at least their form, the recent form, are now the favorites to move all the way to the final at home. And yes, that includes a potential matchup between United or Olympique Lyonnais. Spurs would be the other one. So the odds on final, at least according to my model, is Spurs against Athletic Club, which would be a really, really great one. But again, do not discount Eintracht Frankfurt or any of the other opponents. Lazio, because on paper they have the easy draw. I really see Lazio struggling against Bodo. I gotta be honest with that, but in the end they should be considered the favorites. Are now in third place, and then United in fourth. The scheduling for this quarterfinals is a little bit weird because we have only one game in the early slot, which is Bodo's home game against Lazio. It, I think, happens at the same time as the Chelsea home game against Legia, so that might be a cool double to watch. Then the other games happen in the late slot: Lyon against United, Rangers against Athletic Club, and Spurs against Frankfurt. The most atmospheric one definitely will be Rangers against Athletic Club, but I think the other ones are also not really to discard. And then the return legs, well, as we said, all in the 9 o'clock slot. Well, I didn't necessarily like what I saw yesterday evening because the excitement was not quite there as I would have expected it. Yeah, thank you, Mats Hummels, for that one. But I think that the way this competition shapes up is quite interesting. We get some intriguing ties again. Spurs Frankfurt is a real banger, but there are other really good ties in there as well. And I really want to see how the English teams that are really not in great form in the Premier League will do against really good European opposition. And again, Athletic Club, Frankfurt, to a less extent at the moment Lazio, although Lazio have proven that they can do well in this competition. But again, upset alert on them. Bodo, I really don't want to underestimate at this moment in time. Anyway, please let me know your thoughts on the Europa League. Who do you think will win it? Will Athletic Club win a final at home, or will they fail maybe in such a final like Bayern Munich have done? And I think finals at home of late have not been successful for the supposed home team. I guess the pressure is too high. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like these. And I will talk to you soon about more things in my soccer universe. Bye! Hey there! I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, here are some videos and playlists that you may enjoy too. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the little bell icon so you get notified whenever something happens in my soccer universe. And with that, have a wonderful day. Bye!